Hello, I'm Julian Northbrook from doingenglish.com. Should you practice thinking in English? The answer to that question is probably not. Kind of a yes, it depends on the situation. Now, first of all, if you're worried about how to practice thinking in English, then you're doing something, to be honest, very, very wrong, because you don't practice thinking in English. Really, you either do it or you don't. Now, I believe you should always be doing real things when you are using English, and this is distinct to the study part. The way I teach the two-track approach really splits these things into two separate things. You can find out more about that by heading over to doingenglish.com/free training and studying the free training. And there are times when thinking in English is going to be a real thing. So, for example, if you're walking down the road fantasizing about shit in English, yeah, give it a go. Or say at the supermarket and you're kind of having a conversation in your head about the shit that you need to buy. Yes, that can work. And you can consciously make this happen. But the point is, if you're doing things right, you shouldn't need to consciously make it happen. It should just happen anyway by itself. First, the better you get at English, the more you will think in English. It's as simple as that. It's largely to do with proficiency, but also the way that you learn English. The more you learn English in the right way, the more you will think in English right from the start without your first language getting in the way. So I learned Japanese to a very high level, not perfect to be sure, but enough so that I worked in a Japanese company, all in Japanese. I worked as a translator for a while, and I really just lived most of my life in Japanese for many, many years. Personally, I never had a problem with translating in my head or thinking in the wrong language when I was using Japanese. I always thought in Japanese right from the start, even in the very beginning when it really wasn't much because I didn't know that much of the language. And I had a big advantage compared to most people though. I was a terrible, terrible student at school, and I failed foreign languages, in my case, French. So I didn't really have any bad learning habits right from the beginning, and I had to really learn how to do it right from the beginning. And basically, if you're studying grammar rules and you're trying to combine those in your head with words when you speak, or if you're learning via translations in your native language, then it's only natural that you're going to end up thinking in your native language. And it's because of the way you learn. That's what's causing the problems. So my recommendation is, one, when you're doing something in English, don't try to learn English. Instead, just do what you are doing in English as much as you can without learning being a part of it. Two, block off time every day where you are intentionally studying English so that your English grows. The key here is balance. And this again is what I call the two-track approach. You can learn about that by going to doingenglish.com/free training. Now, number three, stop trying to speak with grammar and words. And instead learn and speak like native speakers and like you speak your first language. And that is in chunks of language, which again is how native speakers actually speak and how you should be learning in the first place. Now, if you're stuck with your English and not moving forward, don't worry. I can show you a much, much better way to do it. And you can get started for free by heading over to doingenglish.com/free training, where you can get my rocket launch method training, which is going to teach you the 5 key changes, part of which is the two-track approach, is learning and speaking in chunks right from the beginning. Again, that's doingenglish.com/free training. Check it out, study it, pay close attention, and I will see you in the next video. This is Julian Northbrook signing out, saying bye-bye.